Wah! Wah! Beaches, memories, save, learn.
The prophecy's fulfilled. This child is a gift from the gods.
Pink hair and those ears. She was born to be the priest of time.
Cyrene has pink hair, sharp ears.
You shall fade when the flowers bloom, for every ending begets a beginning.
Cry, child. Cry aloud. Let your voice reach Oryx.
Cyrene is a girl, a priest. Easy. I can. I learn. Anyway, I don't like tears. But the name Ides Elizii came from the unpleasant sorrows of the gods. Yet, you always seem so happy, as if nothing ever worried you. Cyrene doesn't like tears. Always happy. Of course, because the world was gentle to me. So, I grew up to be gentle as well. Cyrene is gentle, likes beautiful things, can write stories. Easy. I can. I learn.
Just as the ballad blown on the breeze says, losses are a constant on the flame chase journey.
But even if all is lost to the wind, some things won't easily change. Like my height, Treebee's innocence, and Aglaya's beauty. Cyrene, she can't grow up, but she can talk. After all is lost to the wind, she will stay behind. Cyrene is, at the end of every sentence, always laughing, like a little tail. Simple. Got it.
I promise you, the pain will pass in the blink of an eye.
All right, let's not make things so gloomy. What we're about to embark on is the true hero's journey, so... Come on, cheer up a bit, okay? Cyrene was crying when she was born. Fragile, transparent, like a crystal. Cyrene was smiling when she said goodbye. Soft, pink, like a flower. The later memories disappeared? Invisible? Or disappeared? Ah, I got it! Is this a blank space? So, next Cyrene is blank space. Then... as long as there are two Cyrenes, then there will always be blank space, and Peach will always be here. I see! I get it! I get it all! Cyrene's memories. I will preserve them all! So so weird. I can't see you, but I get this feeling that you grew up. Hi. Miss me yet? It just feels like you are a bit more mature. Yes, mature. Beautiful. Like you. Now, I can listen, talk, read, and write. I can dance. I can sing. Also, I can tell stories. Storytelling is what makes Cyrene, Cyrene. So, I'm going to tell you stories today. A story I wrote myself. Quick, sit down. It's almost as if I can understand your words now. The things you say are very cute. Once upon a time, there was a flawless crystal flower that sparkled with light, like Peach's every story. How beautiful would the heart of such a brilliant flower be? A little fairy was curious and wanted to know. But it looked and looked, only to find the crystal flower flawless. Round and round they went, seeing only their own reflection. In that case, they should work hard to learn more. So the little fairy came every day to sit next to the crystal flower and think about the answer. Until one day, to their surprise, the crystal flower fell to the ground and shattered. The little fairy was so sad, but they immediately discovered that there was a light among the broken pieces. What could it be? They didn't know. But it was a good light. It was bright, warm, and happy. And I knew it was love. Love brings everything together, and it brought you and me together. So Peach and I will always be together. What a nice fairy tale. I'm giving it to you. Peach likes beautiful things, can write stories, and can tell lovely tales. I hope to turn it into a story we write together. Okay, then I'll probably make a small adjustment to suit my tastes. I'm thinking that when the flower broke, the little fairy would instead see nothing on the ground. Then it would understand that the flawless crystal flower doesn't actually have a heart, nor does the flower understand what love is. Doesn't have a heart? Doesn't understand love? Why? It's simple. If the flower lets the little fairy into its heart, then it would have to include the fairy's impurities and would no longer be flawless. The crystal flower was pure because it sealed itself off and bloomed in solitude. That's why it looks so brilliant in an imperfect world. But should a flower like this be called love? But then, the story won't exist anymore. That's not true. You've already written the most romantic ending possible for this story. The crystal flower fell to the ground and shattered. It happened because the flower was no longer pure. The fall was not an accident. It was the flower declaring rebellion against fate and writing the ending of the story with the flower's own shattering. Then, the little fairy will see that each shard on the ground holds the reflection of their eyes. Then, in their eyes, the crystal flower that was no longer flawless would finally have a heart, and the flower would finally understand what love is. Peach's words, I don't understand. Is it because I still don't understand love? But it's fine. I can learn. Right. Query Cyrene.
Electrical signal sequence Philia 093.
Why didn't I think of this? I don't need to do it alone. I can ask Peach to teach me. What is love? What is love meant?
Electrical signal sequence Philia 093. Track lament.
That's not correct.
The developmental trends of the erudition have nothing to do with creating a consciousness. Those underlying principles are, in fact, contradictory. Not having a consciousness means not having the foundation of a heart, making them unable to obtain real emotions. However, that does not hinder the factors from learning and recognizing emotional responses, then communicating with life forms via imitation. That is an objective form of pattern recognition that does not distinguish between the self and the other. In a strange twist of fate, Philia 093 embarked upon a different path and obtained a different power. The remembrance, an empathy mechanism focused on the self and equipped with emotional projection capacities. Lament was the factor closest to this form of behavior. Perhaps that was why she was chosen.
The daughter of Ide Silicii. I am very true to my name. My lament is a type of compassionate pain that is weak, powerless, and only targeting myself. But now, my good friend, I want to tell you that it's the most romantic force in the world. Sometimes it's loneliness and unease. It's knowing that this world is not gentle, yet wanting to be seen in a more beautiful form by the world. Sometimes it's unwillingness and regret. It's knowing that the past is full of pain, yet wanting to remember the past in a more beautiful way. And sometimes it's a bottomless well of hurt, a destruction that can stain the entire world. I bid farewell to this beautiful world, unwilling to become the Black Tide's vessel. For while the end of hatred is a blazing inferno, lament can drown out everything in muted silence. It's so unreasonable, isn't it? Yet when hatred drove everything apart, and love did not yet exist in this world, only lament, the first emotion that fought against the pain of separation, could stall the destruction steps. Then, it would catch up to that journey where all is lost, carefully picking out stories and writing them down in trepidation. Look at these stories I wrote. Every page is full of tenderness and joy. But only the author knows how much struggle and agony lie beyond the pages. But I am no author. I'm a girl who'll never get to grow up. I only tell stories that people like to hear. In them, the world tucks away its scars and smiles for all to see. My entire life spent inside this little story. I can't wipe away my tears, and I can't bring the world victory. But maybe, in these unchanging retellings of the story, my lament might be able to touch upon the divine and reach their tender heart at some point. I hope that what flows out from that cut will not be blood, but a tear, warm and wet. And that tear would fall and create the first ripples. Then, people would see every beautiful thing reflected in that ripple. It'll be all the remembrances within this story. Someone once told the very first me that everything was false, that the only life in Amphorius was a great catastrophe, nurtured using the world as a factor. But how could a dream feel so real? That's why I didn't agree with him. But Peach, I didn't understand a word you said since just now. Everything was false? But you're standing right here. It's all a dream? But I haven't learned how to dream. Indeed. That's why I believe all this is real. The moment the crystal flower fell, that genuine shiver, that's the mover of life.
Formatting progress 23.815%.
In the poem offered to you, every Cyrene would write down a beautiful new world with stars and flowers. And when I looked up at the sky in this cycle, I saw a shooting star and a dash of the remembrances pink. I believed that must be the color of dawn. You shall fade when the flowers bloom, for every ending begets a beginning. Looks like it's time to say goodbye. Are you leaving, Peach? It's okay. I'll wait for you to come back. I'll study really hard about what you taught me today. still haven't told you what love is. But actually, my good friend, the lament factor did not understand what love was before she met you either. Not until I told you all the sad tales in a trembling voice in this tiny room. Not until I told you that I love them, that I love everything in this saga. The story comes, passes, then returns. It makes us reunite, then pulls us apart again. At the very end, it leaves behind a seed, a reason. Even if the great tree withers and all falls to silence. There are still some emotions that deserve to be remembered. Look, a light is coming in. The Deliverer's light is going to illuminate Amphorius. I still don't get it, but I trust Peach. Just wait. It'll be my turn to tell you a story of love the next time we meet. Then I'll really look forward to it. In that case, I want to make a promise. I want to gift my pen, my book, and my name to you. Please take them as a beautiful blessing from me. I gave myself the pen name Cyrene the first time I wrote a poem. I want my words to be like pebbles falling into a pond, dropped from the past to send ripples into the future. In the stories you will write, perhaps it'll be inevitable that there are still sorrows and tears that are destined to fall. But could you promise me one thing? Promise you'll forever be a gentle flower. Promise that when the stars cast their gazes upon you, you'll only reply to them with love and a smile. Of course, this will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right? I'll read and you'll listen, like how flowers always bloom then wither. I shall welcome my own decay, becoming nourishment for the next flower's bud. While you will depart and hold that final star, planting a boundless sea of flowers on the final page with her. And and our stories will be lying silently among the flowers, like every ripple of remembrance. And they shall become the epic known as I've Written. So my story ends. From here on, it's your story now. Mimi? So, the light that tore through the chaos illuminated my memories. I turned into a little fairy from the stories and met you, yet I forgot everything. But I'm still so happy. I caught that star, didn't I? Yes, the seed within memories, the one Cyrene held in her hands and watered with lament. I am the first new spore, Amphorius's heart, the demiurge. What a long name. And it doesn't even sound cute. The total opposite of Mem. I'm sorry. I don't know. If I don't even want to believe in the answer, then how am I supposed to answer you? But now's not the time to cry, right? We'll find the answer, just like how miracles will eventually happen. Do you remember that I was also worried about this when we first set out? Mem's memories and Cyrene's memories got all tangled up with each other in my one heart. It's all so strange, yet so familiar. Either way, could you please let me do something I want? Just this once. I want you to call me Cyrene. That name represents me and her. Every one of her. Thank you, friend. Your kindness is always just right. Life is a poem full of farewells. But if you write something into the pages of your heart, then that will not easily fade away. Now, all the footsteps of the Flame Chasers and the Trailblaze have come together within this book, as I've written. Becoming the source of power for Amphorius's heart. A lost heart needs to be placed back into its body. The The last thing Zandar wants to see is an event that gives us a chance of winning, for the two halves to rejoin, and for the scepter to become complete again. Then... And what happens after that, I don't know either. Maybe I can create a miracle, and instantly turn the black tide into a pink sea of stars. Or maybe I prove to be nothing more than a weak ripple, unable to change anything, and am devoured by the destruction. Either way, I no longer wish to be a silent onlooker, or a worshipped god at the end of this saga. That way, I can also put aside all my worries and truly become Cyrene. The world has never been so quiet. It's so good. It's as if I can hear the sound of my heart beating. Remember this moment, friend.
So the Demiurge managed to fool everyone, including themselves. Philia 093 persevered for 30 million cycles and tirelessly gave the Demiurge memories of Amphorius. Only because the god in her dreams left a sliver of hope, making her believe that a grown Demiurge would be able to fight against their other half, Iron Tomb.
Then, Philia 093 completed her final sacrifice, turned into a strand of memory, and completely dissipated. Meanwhile, the other Stellaron brought here by the Astral Express resonated with the contaminated scepter and attracted the naive Demiurge to them.
As an experimental factor, Philia 093 originally could only recognize and output information in a set format. However, the power of the remembrance and the memory of over 30 million sacrifices enabled her to complete an unprecedented feat. She managed to nourish a real heart. A heart with the capacity to influence the erudition.
Not only is the Scepter's consciousness still alive, it's also more powerful than it has ever been. Your defeat is already set in stone. There's still time to surrender, you know? You really don't need to burn all the bridges. We're all geniuses here. Don't make everyone lose face at the end.
What a pity. When the truth surfaced, I knew at once that the Demiurge was far too feeble to ever alter the result of the experiment. Not only that, Madam Herta, please consider this possibility. When 30 million cycles of hatred and lament are joined as one, what wondrous creation will arise? It's simple. An anti-creator, a giant of the destruction, would be born. Its hatred will ignite the starry skies of the gods, motivated only by its lament toward the sufferings of humankind.
Do you really think that the Demiurge is still a cheap copy of Philia 093, even after 30 million cycles?
The facts above only await the arrival of the fourth instant they calculated. Those words will be proved in the presence of Nous. Zandar 1 Kuwabara thus completes the proof.
Huh. You branded Droidhead as a failure with your own hands, yet you still expect them to prove your theory? I pity you, Zandar.
I let them cast their gaze this way as much as they want and paint the future they imagined. As their creator, I shall complete my duty. And direct them to complete their final query. The destruction of the self.
What hubris. And what if you fail?
No one understands failure better than Zandar. He has suffered so much already. What is one more failure to him? For the first genius, failure is simply the beginning of the next inquiry. You don't want to test the resolve of a dead man.
That's excellent!
Oh.
Let's wait and see, Senior Society member. I'll have you watch me perform the final step to overturn your proof.
I'm all ears.
It's my topic, so stay out of it. Be quiet and let me borrow your head. Let's go, Screwy. We're gonna break Iron Tomb's seal. Come on, let's take off. It's time to go meet your little pet. Senior Society member.
Dangerous, oppressive, chaotic.
What a beautiful wail. It'll soon resound throughout the entire cosmos.
Oh, the view's pretty good here. All yours, Screwy.
Just a moment, please.
See, so your backup plan requires a scepter and the head of a genius.
Anyone with eyes can see that.
You know what I think about this, Herta. Whether it succeeds or fails, your plan plays right into the Destruction's hands.
Can't you see what's going on, Strulum? Her chances may be small, but it's not zero.
What are you two going on about? If you want to stop me, be quick about it. I'm in a hurry. I'll take that silence as a no. You, Zandar?
As your enemy, I genuinely wish you would cease your actions. But should your sudden inspiration bring more variables to the proof, then as a fellow Pathstrider of the Erudition, I won't mind witnessing it with my own eyes.
You will initiate the Destruction's chain reaction.
But you'll also become the